Hey everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things. And I have a book review for you. So, if you're watching this on October 30th, 2025, tomorrow is Halloween. And listened to the Halloween tree off of the 2025 Preteen Teen Reading Challenge. So I actually listened or we listened slash read it. Um, Me and my kid, we listened to a podcast that did it really well. Um, Snacks, Snacks with, oh, I'm gonna have to go look it up. Hold on. Snacks with Stein. Um, and they did this in 2020. They did a little production of it with what's the other podcast called? Haunted Heart Society, I believe. You can find it on YouTube or on Audible. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the description for you. If I can figure out how to put it in the description for you so you can listen to it too. Um, Snacks with Stein is a podcast and they do a lot of Goosebumps, R.L. Stein stuff and it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. But we listened to it there. Oh, now I gotta get back to where I was. So, The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. Bradbury. Yes, Ray Bradbury. For some reason my brain was like, I think this is gonna be something I listen to every year. So before I get too excited and jump into spoilers and all that stuff, I'll read you the little summary. Um I'm reading the summary that's on Audible because that's really the only thing I have right now that's easiest to get to. So here we go. Oh, do you like my costume? It's not my full costume. I just thought it'd be fun to dress up a little bit. Make storytime a little spookier with fantasy master Ray Bradbury as he takes listeners on a riveting trip through space and time to discover the true origins of Halloween. Join the shadowy carapace clavicle 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 mound shroud. That's really hard to say for me. Mound shroud. As he takes 8 trick-or-treaters on an unforgettable journey to find their missing friend Pip. Travel through space and time from the tombs of ancient Egypt to the gargoyles of the Notre Dame Cathedral. All sorry, I have a spot on my phone that I can't read through. All the way to the cemeteries of Mexico on Dias de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Is Pip still alive? And if so, can his friends save him from the ghastly fate before it's too late? If you want to know what Halloween is, want or if you simply want an eerie adventure, take this mystery history trip. Ugh, mi- mis- Take this mystery history trip. You couldn't ask for a better master fantasizer, Ray Bradbury. The Boston Globe said that. Okay. Now we're gonna go to my book lover journal. Um, So I didn't write very much, but it's only like 2 hours to 3 hours of material. If you're depending on if you're listening to a dramatization or just someone straight reading it. Alright. Title: The Halloween Tree. Um, there is another Halloween tree out there by someone else, and, just be careful, you might click the wrong one. Author: Ray Bradbury. Genre: fantasy. Publisher: uh, I found Alfred A. Knopf? Knopf? I don't know how to say it. Knopf. Pa number of pages, it's about 160, and, I say about because, some have pictures and some don't, and some have extra stuff added, and so you never know how many pages, and then, like I said earlier, 2 hours to 3 hours long, depending on if yours has music. Date started October 28th, 2025. Date ended October 28th, 2025. Why did I choose this book? It's a great book to read in October, and it's on my 2025 preteen teen reading challenge. Overall rating, I gave it 4. It's I almost wanna give it a 5. It's like okay. Goodreads has it at a 3.75, and Audible has it as a 4.4. Would I recommend this? Yeah. Yeah, I would. Read this. Other books by this author, if you don't know who Ray Bradbury is, um, where are you living? Other books by this author: Fahrenheit 451, Something Wicked This Way Comes, October Country, Farewell Summer, The Creature That Time Forgot, Dandelion Wine. That's just like the ones that I was like, "Oh, hey, I actually have read some of those or I've heard of them." Uh, okay. Before I read my review, down here, I have a little blurb. Some books leave us free, and some books make us free. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Alright, my review. I love this book. I think I'm going to listen to it every year from now on. I love the kids get to learn about their costumes, and we get to travel with them to see the past. Going on a hunt for their sick friend that is taken by death? Maybe? It's educational and spooky. Also, I always forget that the kids give up a year of their life to keep their friend Pip. Breaks my heart. Um, that's a bit of a spoiler. Okay, so now we're getting into the spoilery bit. This is gonna be a short video. It's a short book. I'm gonna try not to tell you everything. So if you don't wanna hear the spoilers, if you want to just go and listen to it or read it yourself, you can stop here. Comment below if you stopped here. I don't know, you could be like, "Didn't want the spoilers." Or you could say, "Blah." I don't know. You could just say, "Oh," you could leave me a Halloween pumpkin or something. I don't know if you can do emojis, but, it would feels good. And like this video if you like watching my kind of videos. But I'm moving on. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Halloween. Have a good fright and happy Halloween. Um, so I'm moving on to the spoilers now. So if you're gonna go comment, you can pause me while you comment so you don't hear my spoilers. Okay. So I think this book is perfect for Halloween. Obviously, it's about Halloween, and it just makes me happy to read about different reasons for Halloween. Like, okay, when it opens up, you go around and the the narrator tells you about the kids that are dressing up. You have and they're all about 13. Um, they're dressed up as a witch and a mummy and a beggar. 8 boys dressed up for Halloween in various costumes. An ape man, an a mummy, a druid with a scythe, a ghost, a witch, a beggar, a gargoyle, and a skeleton. I remembered that the one that's dressed up as a druid with a scythe is like, "I'm death himself." Um, I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Um, so they all meet where they're supposed to meet, and they're excited, and they take off running, and then they stop, and they realize that there's only 8 of them. There should be 9. And, who's missing? And, so they go, they're like, "Oh, Pip's missing. Let's go, his house is up the street. Let's go to it." So they go to his house and they knock on the door and there's no lights on at his house. And um he doesn't like when he opens the door, he doesn't look so good. And they're like, "Oh, what's wrong? You have a stomach ache? You should tell your mom," concern for their friend. And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm fine. If I tell them I won't be able to go trick or treating." And, he's like, "I'll meet you at the old house, I just gotta get my costume on." And, so they're like, "Okay," and so they take off running, and they go to the house that he tells them to go to because it's the best house on the street. Um, it's the one that has the Halloween tree, and the tree has thousands of pumpkins, it says. Once there, they see it, the Halloween tree. There must have been 1,000 pumpkins on the tree, hung high on every branch, 1,000 smiles, 1,000 grimaces, and twice times 1,000 glares of winking, blinking, leering, and fresh cut eyes. And then suddenly, Mound Sh- Mound Mound Shroud shows up and is like, "Do you know why you're wearing your costume?" And they're like, "Well, we no, we actually don't know where our costumes come from." Like, they all found their costumes at like forgotten boxes in their attics or in the basements. And ow. And then there's a noise in the background and they turn and they hear Pip, but he's weak and it sounds like he's fallen, and they start going towards him, but it's so dark that they can't see him. And they're telling him, light your pumpkin, your jack-o'-lantern so we can see you. And just about that time, these things come down and like fly him away. And the mound shroud is like, "I can help you get him back, but we gotta go for a little journey." Um, they get to hunt for Pippin through the history, and their first stop is Egypt, and they have to pretend to be mummies at one time, and I believe they find Pippin there, and they have to unravel him. Someone gets unraveled. I don't remember who. I'm pretty sure it was Pip. And just about that time, he swooped away to the next place on their stop, which I believe is um Greece. And they just hop around from Greece to Rome to England to Europe to Mexico. I'm trying to remember the order that it went in. Um, let me look. Each place they go, they learn about the history of why the mummies wrapped their dead and that they put toys and food in with the dead bodies. And they learn about what the Greece did. Um, at one point, he's a gargoyle on the top of the Notre Dame. Sorry, the Notre Dame cathedral in France, and they have to call the gargoyles to help get him down. And then they go to Mexico and they learn about Day of the Dead, and then they find him trapped in some catacombs in Mexico, and in order to get him back, because by then they're like, "What's happening? Like, what's happening on your end?" Because they can hear him, but they're too afraid to go into the catacombs. And he's like, "I don't know. I think I'm with death, but sometimes I think I'm not. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm in a hospital, but then I keep going pulled to different places." And he's like, "I don't know if I'm dying. I think I'm dying." Like, he's like, and the kids are like, "Oh, what do we do?" And Mound Shroud gives them the candies, biscuit things, or has a Day of the Dead candy, or cookie, and breaks it into 8 pieces and gives them each a piece and says, "If you eat this, 1 year of your life will be given to Pip." Um, so they they end up doing it, and it is so it's, like, touching, but at the same time, it's like, well, does that mean that Pip's still gonna die at a young age? But Mount Shroud um, explains that, each of them giving up a year will give Pippin some life. By seeing all of the way that the dead is taken care of, I feel like the boys have a better appreciation of life and their costumes, of course. And so they're like, um, okay. And Mountroud had told them, was like, "Oh, I see that one of you might live to be 74, but if I just take one of your lives, you'll die at 73 and be none the wiser. And one of you, who like goes through, but doesn't say who's gonna live till what. But the kids all make their decision, and they get taken back to Illinois where all this started. And know, before they go to Pippin's house to see where he is, um, one of the boys stops and is like, will we ever stop being afraid of nights and death?" And Mountroud is pretty much like, um, "You might, but on Halloween, you can always relive that fear." Uh, and so they run to Pippin's house, and one of them goes up and knocks on the door and learns that Pippin is in the hospital. He had an appendicitis, and he just made it to the hospital before his appendix burst, and he's alive. He made it through the surgery. And so, yay. Um and they all kind of, when they're all leaving each other, it's kind of like the Halloween night is not over. They did not go trick-or-treating. They went on this adventure, and now that it's over, they're like, "We don't even wanna go trick-or-treating. We just wanna go home." And so they kind of like, "Hey, bye." And it's I just like the adventure of it. Um, Seeing all of the different past, um, celebrations and how the dead is taken care of among the different religions and, um, places? I don't know what word I'm looking for. It's just a really good book, and I think everyone should listen to it. There is some creepy factors to it, and they do talk about dead bodies. So, keep that in mind for your younger kids, but it's a pretty good book. Um, and that was another book off of my list, so yay! I am currently reading The Girl in White by Lindsay Curry. That one would also be a good Halloween, read or listen for, like, October. I wish I would have started I wish I could have started it sooner because I had to wait forever to get it from the library, and then I didn't get to finish it, so then I had to find it on Hoopla, and so now I'm finishing it. So that's gonna probably be one of my next videos. Um, but The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. Did you like it? Let me know in the comment section. Did you listen to it? Did you listen to it through a podcast or the dramatization, or was it just a straight read through? Did you have the music in the background? Um, I like all of them. So let me know what your favorite one is and like this video because then I know that you like my videos. Um, I have the Lightning Thief video coming up, and I have the Girl in White video coming up. I probably will have, the Spooky House coming up. Uh, it's gonna be a quick read. I'm gonna read it today. It'll be done. And and, I'm halfway through with Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm gonna try to find the Near Witch. Will I get that finished before Halloween? Probably not. I am also not on my reading challenges, reading through, what dead what moves the dead? What's it called? Hold on. I have it saved on my phone. I have the actual book. I found it at the library and I was like, "Yes." What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. And, The Haunting of Hill House, because I love the TV show, and I wanted to read the book where it got its, um, I don't know the word. Yeah, where it came from, origins. There you go. Where it got its origins, by Shirley Jackson. I'm also a big fan of Rose Red, which Stephen King got some of the ideas for that from the Haunting of Hill House. Um, so I'm gonna like it. Okay, so leave me a comment. What are you dressing up as for Halloween? Are you dressing up for Halloween? I'm gonna be a witch. I already have worn my costume a few times this month. Like right now, the smell of my cape is outdoors because last night we went to a uh, in town Halloween trick-or-treating booth type thing. It was called Treats on the Street. The longest line I've ever stood in for my kid to get candy that she's not gonna be able to eat very much of. But and I just happened to have my cape or my cloak in the car, and I was like, "Okay, back up." I knew we would probably stop by it. We were gonna be going past it. I just didn't know if it was still gonna be going on after gymnastics. So I threw my kid's, Pikachu jacket, because she's Pikachu, in the car along with her Pokemon bag, and, this in the car, because I wasn't it was, like, 80 something degrees. I was like, it's too hot to wear my like, a full-on costume." I was like, and her gymnastics where I sit, it's up higher, so heat rises, and so I was like, "It's gonna be hot." Well, when we left, the wind the wind had picked up before we left the house to go to gymnastics, and, like, so much that I was, like, gripping the wheel, and I'm like, because the wind kept pushing the car. And so we got to gymnastics, she did gymnastics. I told her if she did good, we'd stop by it. We were gonna stop by anyway, so, um, and so when we got out of gymnastics, oh my gosh, the wind is blowing so hard right now that my fence is moving. It was like, "Oh my goodness, sorry." I heard a creaking noise, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" It's my fence. Anyway, so the wind had, the temperature had dropped after gymnastics, and I was like, "Oh, it's a good thing hers is a jacket." It's like a fleece-lined jacket, and it has a little Pikachu hood, and I was like, "I'm gonna freeze to death." I mean, it didn't drop that much. It was, like, in the 70s, but, like, when it drastically drops 10 degrees, it feels colder than it is. And so I had this, and the only parking spot I could find was, 2 blocks away, and so we had to walk around, and we got to the event spot, but the line, 'cause it's like a bunch of different companies set up booths on tables in a little horseshoe area, and so the police officers are there, it's next to the police station, and so you go in one way and out the other, and so we walked all like, we just kept walking. The line was just, like, kept going. It just kept going. We were, like, in a neighborhood, I'm like, "I don't know this neighborhood." And, I had this, and I was, like, trying to hold it and hold her hand, and I was like, and the wind was blowing, and I was like, "You wanna just go home?" "No, I wanna go to the trunk or treat." "Okay, okay." But we finally made it through, and now it smells like the outdoors. I don't know what else, you know the smell. I'm not an outdoors person, so I just, um, yeah. What are you gonna be for Halloween? Okay. Um, I don't know what else to talk about. Halloween is my favorite time of year. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I know I already said that. I've been rambling. If you wanna comment below, comment below. Have you read The Halloween Tree? Have you read any like, what is your favorite book to read at Halloween time? And what are you gonna be for Halloween? Subscribe if you're not sure if you wanna subscribe. If you're not sure if you wanna sorry, what? Subscribe. If you're not sure you wanna subscribe, you can click my face bubble, it'll show up down here somewhere. And it'll take you to my channel, and you can go click on it and, check out my other videos, and share because sharing is caring. Someone else might need to know about the Halloween treat. That is all I have to talk about. I'm gonna finish my coffee and edit this video. I don't know what else to do today. I'm just here. All right. Bye.